In this session, I'm going to be talking about the journey to 1 million subscribers. And there's been a lot of ups and downs. I made a lot of mistakes on that journey. And we're going to be talking about the first steps you should do when making a YouTube channel, whether you're starting from scratch or whether you want to grow your channel faster. If we're just meeting, my name's Sean Cannell. I'm the co-author of the #1 best-selling YouTube strategy book, YouTube Secrets. And this is session 1 of our 7 steps to YouTube success. And we're going to be going through all 7 of these. And this is just number 1 today. And in this session, I'm excited because I'm going to be sharing a secret that I learned from a 2,500-year-old book called The Art of War that is practical for YouTube. You know, a lot of experts are teaching some things that can be helpful, but they're missing a major piece of growing on YouTube. And we're going to be covering that in this session. And so this session is do this first. This is how to start and grow a successful YouTube channel. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, we are just streaming only session 1 on YouTube, so you can kind of get a peek inside of our YouTube Influence Challenge. If you want to be a part of all 12 of these powerful sessions that are free, you can just go to tubeinfluence.com, or there's a link in the description below, and there'll be more details about that later. Get ready, because this is a deep dive session, all right? This isn't just a quick tip, a little bit of fluff. This is some tactical, strategic content that's really going to help you grow on YouTube. Even if you're just starting out, you don't have camera experience, and you really don't have a ton of clarity yet. So I'm going to cover 4 tips for starting YouTube right. The key to making your channel stand out and get views, how to start making money right away. And I'm going to show you a cool case study of that. And then also how to connect with the right audience. And so 4 tips for starting YouTube right is our big rocks. And there's going to be lots of nuances in between the training today. But if we're just meeting, my name is Sean Cannell, and myself and the Think Media team are on a mission to help you build your influence with online video and social media. I live in Las Vegas with my beautiful wife, Sonia. And recently we just found out that we are having a boy. Look at this picture, man. It's a boy. In fact, that's some of the team from Think Media celebrating when we just found that out. In fact, my wife is about to burst 4 weeks at the time of recording this away from our first child. And as you can tell, we're a little bit pumped. I wrote the book YouTube Secrets with my friend Benji Travis, and have just been blessed to have it featured in Forbes and to become the #1 best-selling YouTube strategy book in the world. And of course, the founder of our channel, Think Media. Now we've launched Think Marketing, and it's actually grown multiple YouTube channels to over 100,000 subscribers and even over 1 million subscribers. Myself and the Think Media team are on a mission to help 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love with online video while making a difference in the world. And you also might have seen our channel, Video Influencers, where we have a weekly interview show. But of course, I didn't start there, right? You know what I mean? That's kind of like you're seeing somebody like in the beginning. I got my friend John says it this way: never compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Like, I've been making a lot of mistakes. I've gone down a lot of different paths to try to figure stuff out. But that's why I'm passionate about this video, is to help you with some of the strategies that I've learned to help you go further faster. In fact, this is where I started. I'm a small town kid. This is where I grew up. Arlington, Washington, like farm community, right? And here I am, climbing a tree because I grew up before we had electricity. I'm just kidding. But I actually grew up before the internet. Like, let me know in the comments, can you relate to growing up? Like, you remember when it's like, yeah, we didn't have the internet. We had to like entertain ourselves and stuff. Like, what's all this tablet stuff? Or maybe you're kind of new school and you're in that. I love it both, but I've been in both worlds where you climb trees and now you just climb trees on your iPhone or whatever it is. And in my journey, I started video in 2003 at my local church. So I started to, those are some people that were volunteering. We're all volunteering. And I remember, like balling on a budget. Come on, doing video on a budget. In fact, I love this picture because that fabric on the wall is green screen fabric from Joanne Fabrics. Like, a nice lady in the church stitched that together so we could have a green screen. Those yellow lights are Home Depot lights. And we were just figuring it out. And maybe that's where you're at too. It's like, my tools are my smartphone, duct tape, and a cardboard box for a tripod. And like, I respect that, because there's something about, it's not about your resources, it's about your resourcefulness, right? And starting out, I was waiting tables and making videos for my church. In fact, and these videos were terrible. Like your first videos are going to be your worst videos. But my first YouTube channel I worked on was in 2007 for my church. And so I've been doing this for over 13 years. Again, I didn't know like how to title videos or like thumbnails. Back in those days, you could only upload 15-minute clips at a time. So like if my pastor preached like a 45-minute message, that's like a 3-part YouTube series just to be able to upload all the clips. And you just kind of got to start. And this ties into our first point. But eventually I started my own channel and I got the confidence to punch fear in the face and get on camera. And Think Media actually started at the end of 2010. And here's a little clip of my first video.
All right, so this is, I guess, the first Sean Thinks vlog. And I'm going to try to vlog every single day, mainly so I can remember what I'm even doing and what's going on, because I just feel like I have a lot that I'm thinking about, and I figured, hey, why not share it? And if you find something interesting, that's awesome. Now, this is definitely as real as it gets, so I'm not going to try to be energetic or entertaining, though maybe sometimes I will. But anyways,
that video gets me every time, man. I mean, 10 years ago is me getting on camera, not trying to be energetic or entertaining, which, by the way, bonus tip, it actually is helpful to grow your influence on YouTube to actually try to be energetic and entertaining. Like those are actually two powerful things. Clearly, I've made a ton of mistakes and a lot of failures on the way to really reaching the results we've gotten on YouTube today, which brings us to our first tip. And it's this: you got to start before you're ready. I know that sounds simple. I know that might sound, and we're going to get into some really tactical strategies, but you really do got to start before you're ready. You have to punch fear in the face. You have to punch perfectionism in the face, and you have to just press record. That video was terrible and that video did not do very good. But if I never posted that video, then I wouldn't be where I am today with the results I'm getting on YouTube today. So I want to encourage you for this video, like starting YouTube right, doing this first, you got to post your first video. You got to start messy. You got to show up, poop your pants scared. You have to literally just get on camera. And I think there's something powerful about putting your content out there, putting a video out there, and then continuing to post and practice in public. This is Dr. Eye Health, and this is a picture of him at our event called Grow with Video Live. This year it's virtual, right, with the lockdown and everything else. But he came to Las Vegas and was hanging out with some of the other community from Grow with Video Live. And when he first started watching Think Media, when he first started being a part of some of our training and our coaching, he started from absolute zero. He was just an eye doctor with no camera experience, didn't know how to use a camera, didn't know how to set up a YouTube channel, didn't know how to do any of that stuff, right? And he just started to post videos. In January 2018 is when he discovered Think Media, and he started to study the videos, no prior experience, right? He grew about 2,000 subscribers in December 2018, mostly with luck and doing some of the strategies we teach on Think Media. And he was posting erratically, but then he actually joined one of our programs and he started to take YouTube seriously, and things just exploded. And here's, if you could see that little number, he's at 208,000 subscribers now, 1.3 million views a month, 19,000 subscribers a month is how much he's growing. And he's posting one video a week. And so Dr. Eye Health had to just start. He started before he was ready. He had no clue how to start, what to say, what to do, but he just started. And his first few videos weren't great. Like your first videos are going to be your worst videos, but you have to just start. And then number two, you got to commit to the journey, right? Like after you start, you got to sustain. You got to actually keep going. Where most people get stuck when it comes to starting a YouTube channel is they post one video, maybe 3 videos, maybe 10, and are like, shoot, I'm not viral and famous yet. This must not work. Nah, you got to keep going. And there's something about committing to the journey. And there's some nuances I want you to catch here. Look, commitment is the foundation of all great accomplishments, right? Like knowing what you're getting into, like committing to it, really deciding to make a decision that, look, I'm going to go from dabbling on YouTube to dominating on YouTube. Like I'm going to make a mindset shift. Like I'm going to stop dabbling and I'm going to start dominating. I'm going to treat this seriously. I'm going to actually start showing up. I'm going to act like a professional when it comes to my YouTube channel. And by the way, dude, if you want to do YouTube as a hobby, like you do you, boo, like do whatever you want, right? But if you want to get results, like this training will help you get results, grow your channel, build momentum, but that doesn't happen without commitment. Where there's no commitment, there is no results, right? And it kind of makes me think of HGTV, right? So let me know if you watch HGTV. My wife, Sonia, last night we were watching one of the shows. I forget what, I think it's a Netflix one. So it's technically not HGTV, like the Beverly Hills Houses one. She's like, I don't think you're going to last many episodes. I'm like, no, I'll be into the show. And then like after 1.5 episodes, I was like, okay, cool. I get the drama. Like that one has a lot of drama. Which one's your favorite show though? Like when it comes to is it House Hunters International, right? Is it Love It or List It? Come on. Is it Fixer Upper? And so when I think about commitment, it makes me thinking about these shows and thinking about what it is you're getting into when you start a YouTube channel. And what's so funny about these shows is they all go the same. Like somebody is doing like, you know, House Hunters International and they find a house. They're like, what's your budget? They're like $300,000. Okay, great. And so they're like, well, we found this house. There's one that's like 230, 280, and one that's like 295. And they're like, well, we like the one that's 295 the most. And it is in our budget. And so that's the one we want. And inevitably they're like, oh, we're so happy. This is amazing. But then dun, 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 going into commercial break, it's like, oh, shoot. Wait a minute. We bought the house, but there's like black mold in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. Oh, it needs a new roof. The inspector didn't tell us. Oh, you know what? We'll just do a few upgrades. Oh man, these upgrades, man. And then it's like the real estate agent's like, yeah, that's getting more expensive as you go, right? Like once they get into it, once they get into the fixer upper, there starts being like setbacks, challenges, costs, things that maybe you weren't aware of or you didn't sign up for, right? And so when I think about that, it's the same is true for YouTube. And it actually reminds me of an ancient verse, right? Where like Jesus said it best. Like he said, like, if you're going to construct a house, first sit down and estimate the cost to complete it. Otherwise, you may lay a foundation and not be able to finish it. And the neighbors will ridicule the builder and say, look at him. He's starting to build, but he couldn't complete it. Like the cost of building a tower. So count the cost of starting a YouTube channel, but also see the possibilities. You're like, Sean, this is like, what does this have to do? We'll get into some tactical stuff, but this is huge because a lot of people, again, they just think it's going to be maybe easier, maybe even think like, well, no, it's going to be challenging, but you don't really think things through. Think about what it's going to take and maybe think, man, I'm going to devote the time to this. I'm going to devote the money to this. I'm going to talk up to my family about this. I'm going to actually start taking this seriously. You know, I know that for you watching this, you know, in your heart, that there's a difference when you're all in versus just kind of toes in the water. There's a difference when you're at the pool party and you're like, I don't know if I want to get in. And then someone just comes out and just cannonball and just full submersion. And of course you want to be smart. And of course you want to be strategic, but a lot of people don't count the cost. Like this is going to take some time. This is going to take some energy. I am not here to tell you that building your influence on YouTube is easy, but I am here to tell you that it's worth it. So as you think about the costs, also see the possibilities. And wherever you're watching this, let me know in the comments, like, what's one of your dreams when it comes to YouTube? What's one of your goals for when it comes to YouTube? Like, start with the end in mind. What does winning look like for you? Is it 10,000 subscribers? Is it getting a silver play button or maybe even like a gold play button? Like you see it and you see the possibilities and you go, man, a lot went into that. A lot of blood, sweat, tears went into getting that. But man, to be a part of that journey and not even just to get to the destination, but to have the ups, to have the downs, to have the learnings, to have the relationships. What's one of your goals? Is it to provide for your family? Is it to, create extra streams of income? Then you work back and that motivation keeps you going because you're like, yeah, this is going to be challenging, but it's going to be worth it. Right now I'm doing this thing called 75 Hard Challenge. Because of inactivity and diet, I started to just develop, just this tire around my waist, 36 years old. This comes easier now. At 21, I could just eat whatever I want, do whatever I want, video games, work out or not. But man, my metabolism's different now. And so I am now looking at pictures of Brad Pitt with his shirt off. It's true. Brad Pitt, Fight Club ripped. Come on, anybody know that scene? right? And I'm seeing the possibilities, but I'm not going to get there without work. And so that's why I'm doing this ridiculous challenge where I'm supposed to drink 48 gallons of water a day, like work out and do all this crazy stuff. It's painful. And I counted the cost though. I was like, that's going to be hard. And it's 75 days straight, no cheat days. I got to do what I'm doing every single day. Let me know in the comments if you ever heard about. Shout out to Andy Frisella, 75 hard challenge. But I see the possibilities. I am keeping the vision of the result at the end of the work. And that's what you have to do too on YouTube, because if you're going to really build your influence on YouTube, it's going to be hard. And so you got to see the possibilities. And here's some of the possibilities, friends. This is a new article, August 2020. More than half of the people on Earth now use social media. That'll make you fall out of your chair. Listen, more than half of the people on Earth, not on the internet, use social, like on Earth, half of humans. So if you want to build a business, create side income, reach customers, build a church, build a movement, impact people, like see justice happen, see, your art get, impact people, see things make a difference in people's lives. Guess what? 1 out of 2 of them are on the other side of a screen, a mobile phone, a computer. More than half of the people on Earth are on social media. You got to see the possibilities. And over 2 billion people are on YouTube. I know you go, I feel it's crowded. Sure. But it's also a massive number of people. And there's people that want more content. They want good content. They want specific niche things that you're into. In fact, let me know, maybe if you have clarity, what niche are you in? There's people that are into crazy, weird stuff. Man, I'm into like biohacking stuff. So I'm watching all these channels on neurotropics, right? They're like brain vitamins and stuff. Like, what are you into? I bet you're into some weird stuff. You guys who watch ASMR, just kidding. ASMR is amazing, right? You got all kinds of like niches. You got people that are watching people eat food, mukbang, right? You got all kinds of different gaming, retro gaming. You've got all kinds of people that are into business and personal development and fitness. You've got people that are into booktube and all kinds of different things. There's so many different communities of people to reach, and there's over 2 billion monthly active users on YouTube. So here's what you got to do. You got to commit to getting uncomfortable. This is number 2 out of the 4 points. You got to commit to the journey, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Great things happen not inside of your comfort zone, but outside of your comfort zone. You got to commit to learning new things. Assuredly, you have to learn new things. From that guy who was on camera, not trying to be energetic or entertaining, he had to learn a lot of new things over the last 10 years, right? Committing to learning new things, studying, leveling up, investing in yourself, practicing, failing forward. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. You got to commit to doing whatever it takes. Again, if you aren't, I believe that because you're watching this, you're this type of person and this is how serious you want to take YouTube, but you don't have to go at it with this level of intensity if you just don't care about, growing your influence or making, again, do it at whatever level you want. But I'm saying if you really want to get the results, commit to doing whatever it takes. It's like this. That's the decision. I'm just going to kind of dabble and experiment. Cool. It's like a level of intensity. But what happens if you raise the level of intensity and say, man, I'm going to figure this thing out? And I know for me, I was like, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm reading books. I'm going to events when we could travel. I'm going to, I'm investing in courses. I'm leveling up my learning. I'm trying to get in Facebook groups. I'm trying to connect with people. I'm trying to learn. I was just committed to doing whatever it takes. Practice, practice, practice. 10 videos didn't work. Let me post another one. I want you to capture the commitment for really getting the results and a commitment to paying the price. And I don't think any of this should surprise us, right? I think all of us know in our heart of hearts that the best things in life, they take sacrifice. They take an investment. You don't end up with a powerful, strong family and real powerful connection with your kids if you don't pay the price to spend time with them and invest in them. You don't have a strong relationship if you don't pay the price to actually invest in that relationship. If you neglect it, you're not going to get the result, right? So for YouTube, I just want to encourage you, commit to the journey. And tip number 3, and if you haven't grabbed a pen or a journal, this is where we're going to get into some serious strategy. And I promised you, I'm going to reveal a secret from a 2,500-year-old book that I learned that a lot of people aren't teaching on YouTube. But tip number 3 is you got to start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. And so during this challenge, over the next 12 sessions, we're going to be going through my 7-step YouTube influence system. but it's really kind of based on this. And this ancient book is called The Art of War, right? It's written by a military general, Sun Tzu, and it's still a bestseller to this day. All right. And there's so much wisdom and there's so much strategy. And like, Sean, what does that have to do with YouTube? Well, listen to this quote from Sun Tzu, right? Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Now, this is really important because what's the difference between strategy and tactics? Well, what most people on YouTube are teaching, and what we're going to be teaching over the next 12 sessions, is a lot of tactics. Oh, have a better title, have a better thumbnail, do use these tags, start your video this way. A lot of little tactical things that are a big deal, because what the military general discovered was if you have a strategy, but you don't actually have the right tactics, the tactical YouTube details, your messaging, little details, getting small things right, like the back-end optimization of your YouTube channel, how you optimize a video, studying trends, having like tactical, video ideas. Well, then you're not going to get to victory very fast or ever. But listen, tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. And that's why most people are not getting results on YouTube. They're just focusing on tactics, kind of like a gimmick here, a gimmick there. Not even that it's a gimmick, but if it's divorced of a cohesive strategy, we're going to play the game on a bigger level in this video. That's why I want you to get a pen and a journal, because we're going to go to work on your strategy. We're going to go to work on you getting a bigger vision for what it is you're doing on YouTube. The ancient wisdom is, what is your strategy? Before you worry, if I do this comment on people's videos, if I sub for sub, if I do this, if I do all these little things, which definitely don't sub for sub, it's not a good strategy or tactic. But like, if I do these little things, well, all those little things without a bigger strategy are not going to work, period. And so the first of the 7 R's of our YouTube influence system is reverse engineer. Reverse engineer. Like, before you do anything else, like, notice, we have not shot a video. We're not even planning a video. We are not coming up with titles. We're not doing any of that yet. We are starting with the end in mind. We're starting with strategy. We're not worried about the latest trick. We're not watching tons of different people on YouTube trying to just find some little tactic. Let's think at a high level and really get clear on our strategy. Here are 3 areas to reverse engineer. Number 1, your channel. This is our bigger strategy. Number 2, your video or your videos. And number 3, your money. If you want to build a high impact and a high profit YouTube channel, you want to reverse engineer your channel, reverse engineer your videos, and reverse engineer your profit. How are you going to make money? And here's some questions that I want you to write down, and you can then use these questions to continue. Like, these also, at first, you might not know the answer, but trust me, the people who answer these questions with the greatest level of intelligence, strategy, positioning, when they really think things through, those are the people who get results on YouTube, period. So when it comes to your channel, who is your channel for? Like, who is your channel for? The mistake people make is they go, well, my channel's for everybody. I mean, I'm a comedian, dog. Like, everybody, I'm hilarious. The whole world needs to know me. I make music, man. The whole world needs to listen to it. Listen, if you try and reach everybody, you'll end up reaching nobody. Who is your channel for? It's knowing that there is, if we talk in marketing terms, which we're going to talk in a lot of those, it's having a target market. It's knowing who you're talking to. It's the fact that people who just say, my channel's for everybody, versus the people that say, my channel's for millennial moms. The people who know they're talking to millennial moms win at a bigger level. And guess what? If they go even deeper than that, they do even better. It's for millennial moms that kind of have a West Coast perspective. Perspective on the West Coast can be a little different than the East Coast. Come on, East Coast, West Coast beef. Come on, who's your favorite rapper? Are you East Coast rap fan or a West Coast rap fan? I'd probably lean, well, I like the Wu on the East Coast, and of course, Tupac on the West. So it's like, man, I'm just torn. I'm just divided. But listen, or the even Central America thinks different. Guess what? International. And we have people that are part of this challenge and a part of this channel that are international. It's like, who's your channel for? Who are you talking to? The greater level of clarity that you have about who your channel is for and who you're talking to, the greater success you'll have. What problem does this channel solve? The person who understands the problem the best, and by the way, solves the problem the best, wins. What problem does your channel solve? Sean, is this training just for like how-to channels and education channels? Nah, man. If you're talking to as a comedian, what problem do you solve? Boredom, the ability to give people a chance to disconnect, the ability to combat anxiety and depression, because somebody that can just bring happiness and joy during a crazy time in the world. Like, what problem does your channel solve? And by the way, if you're like, I got no freaking idea, man. I thought we were going to like learn about thumbnails. Like, where's the title? We're going to get to that, but that's maybe why you're stuck, is because it starts with strategy. It starts with having clarity. Start with the end in mind. And then, how is this channel different? So Sally Hogshead, the famous author of the book Fascinate, says that different is better than better. Wow. If you've ever thought, man, there's already people doing it, and like it seems like they got more confidence and they got a head start, and like now different's better than better. So how can you even be talking about similar things, but be different? Who's this channel for? What problem does this channel solve? And how is this channel different? Answer those questions. Think about those questions. And by the way, continually answer those questions. Gold play buttons, silver play buttons, and we're still answering these questions. We're still trying to get clearer on the answer to these questions. And every level of clarity unleashes another level of growth every time, because clarity is power. And when you start with the end in mind and you get your strategy right, everything changes. And then, why should I subscribe? Why should I subscribe? Yo, bro, hit the subscribe button, man. Like, dude, just hit subscribe. I need the subscriber love. Sounds kind of selfish. Like, why? What benefit is in it for me? Why is this channel going to add value to me? Hey, I'm trying to like hit a goal. Like, can you help me hit 10,000? Can you help me hit 1,000? And look, if you got a community and like you're asking them to share, I'm ultimately not saying you shouldn't do that, but that sounds selfish, doesn't it? Hey, can you help me get more follow? Hey, can I get some more? Like, no. What value is your channel going to add to the audience? Like, if you were to actually just tell somebody, coworkers, you're hanging out with some friends, and you're going to tell them why they should subscribe. Why? What is in it for them? And can you concisely communicate why that it's worth their time? They got a lot of other options. Why it's worth their attention? Can you see how powerful this is? When you dial these in, everything changes. And we're going to be working on these questions over the next sessions in the challenge. So for example, Think Media, the tagline is the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Okay. So even getting clear, who's the channel for? Not people trying to learn gardening. Who's the channel for? Not people trying to get in shape. Who's the channel for? Not people that necessarily want comedic relief, right? It's for people that want to learn how to build their influence with online video. And I have two buckets. And now the Think Media team, we put content in these two buckets: tips, strategies on how to grow on YouTube, or tips on like how to use your camera, how to use the Canon M50, how to use microphones, and then the actual tools, lighting, software. So it's a real clear and narrow channel. The value of the channel is, by the way, our goal is to add value to you, to actually help you, to like respect you. And I want to thank you for being here, for watching this video. I respect you. I respect your time, that you would be investing in yourself like this. But again, think about it. It's not like and much love to vloggers and people who, again, maybe have sort of an influencer thing where you sort of revolve around their life and what they're into. If you're super interesting and you've got to follow me, that's amazing. But man, value-based channels, they're what do it. Audience-focused channels. Benji, the co-author of YouTube Secrets, had a chance to talk to Gary Vaynerchuk. And Gary Vaynerchuk, who's a New York Times bestselling author and real thought leader on social media, said, number one reason why people fail on YouTube is because they're making selfish content. It's just about themselves. They want to travel the world and be cool and be on camera, and they want other people to watch. Well, who freaking doesn't want that? Sounds amazing. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but what I am saying is if you want to get an edge, start with the audience first. Think about the audience first. Think about how you're adding value to the audience. So that's where we're coming from our perspective, and trying to be as clear as possible on what the channel is about. The banner, weekly tips and tools for building your influence online, period. Right? This is Tracy Gold, and these are some of the people that are part of our coaching program called Video Ranking Academy. But Tracy Gold, fashion tips for women over 40. Woo! Man, did you feel that one? Because it's not just fashion tips. That's a little broad because all people have all kinds of different passions. 2, I'm sure a lot of different types of people watch your content, but things like age and ethnicity are big differences. Even style of fashion. I don't sense that this is a streetwear channel. You know what I mean? I don't sense she's going to be rocking some Supreme, Bape, Off-White. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even the imaging of who she's attracting, but then it's clear that it's women and they're also over 40, and 3 videos a week, growing 200 subscribers. Last time I checked, 22,000 subscribers. How's she breaking through the noise? Clarity on her channel. This is Techno Dad, your source for 4K home theater reviews and setups. So people say, I want to have a tech channel, but Think Media already has a tech channel. Techno Dad already has a tech channel. MKBHD already has a tech channel. It's too crowded. No, Think Media doesn't cover any home theater setups. There's niches within niches. We call it double niching. Come on, how you actually say the word, niche versus niche. Double niching, because when you could go triple niching, quadruple niching. When you niche down, yeah, he does tech. So he does brand deals, affiliate marketing, making thousands a month, like doing his thing from following this 7-step system, right? Do you see the niche? The smuggler's room, prop making, costumes, build videos. Whole different thing, right? Geeks welcome, knows who he's talking to. Star Wars beer fridge. Come on. Star Wars prop project, sci-fi assembly table. The power of YouTube is you can turn your passion into profit. Something you love like this, build a community, 23,000 subscribers. So inspiring that there's all these different niches. But look, I know what the channel's about. I know who it's for. If I don't resonate with kind of geek culture, if you didn't grow up like me watching Star Trek Next Generation, can I get an amen in the comments? Come on, Jean-Luc Picard, come on, Riker, if you didn't grow up watching Star Wars and then like maybe you don't care about the channel, that's not the point. He's tapping into a community. Seth Godin in his book calls it a tribe, and people rally around that because when you geek out on this stuff, you're into it. And I think you understand, you could see that the power of that, right? This is Tanya Eliza. She is helping create success fast while designing a lifestyle you love. Really speaks to people in like network marketing. Hey, listen, doesn't have 100,000 subscribers. Posts 6 videos a month. She's growing about 2,000 subscribers a month, 65,000 views a month. She has a multiple 7-figure business. So she knows who she's talking to. She's helping people with something very specific, and she's built a powerful business. And over the next 11 sessions in this YouTube Influence Challenge, we're going to be talking about a lot of different ways to earn profit. And so get ready for that, and talking about how it's really, some people say, it's not the size that matters. Come on. She doesn't even have a silver play button, but her business is crushing. And we're going to talk about some of the secrets of people that are able to build powerful streams of income because they know who they're talking to. They've got clarity on their channel. I'm inspired by Mary's Nest. When we first met, when she first discovered our content, she was at 0, hadn't shot any videos. And she was like, this guy Sean kind of talks a little fast, sometimes kind of hard to follow. He seems like he's drinking a little too much coffee. Come on, cheers to the coffee. Let me know what you're drinking in the comment section. Rise and grind. She shot her first video, started posting. Now she posts 10 videos a month, helping people with bone broth, ferment, sourdough, traditional cooking for the modern pioneer. My friends, she's getting 738,000 views a month. In a little less than 2 years, mind you, silver play button, 17,000 new subscribers a month. Absolutely crushing it. Do you see all these different niches? But it's so clear that you're going to get value from the channel. There's this particular thing you're going to learn. There's a particular theme, niche, organization to her content. And that's what makes it so powerful. This is Nicole, Kids OT Help. She's a kids occupational therapist. And 87,000 subscribers, getting 343,000 views a month, almost 6,000 new moms a month. Yeah, subscribers, but every subscriber is a person and every subscriber matters. And when you have actually a clear channel, you're connecting with a particular group of people that, again, want to learn something. But the power of YouTube is, I think, community. It's the fact that you can connect with other people. I mean, I'm sure there's probably like 4 creeper dudes that watch your channel. You know what I mean? Like there's always those guys, but like it's moms that like we're about to go into the same situation. Like my wife right now, we're talking about like nipple butter. Is the nipple butter organic? Like chafed nipples? Like these are the conversations, you know, parents, you already know, you've been through this. We're going through the full thing. I saw this like meme the other day because she's got like 48 pillows on the bed, just like spread out, laid out. I'm on like the corner of the bed. The other day, my arm was like slightly romantically touching her arm. And she was like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, okay, sorry. So I'm like over on just the absolute edge of the bed. Come on, pregnancy. Come on, 4 weeks to go. And so the power of YouTube is the power of building community. And so 5,800 new moms subscribing to her channel, because she stayed committed, tip number 2, because she committed to the journey, she had a couple breakout moments, slow and steady growth of viewership and of income growth. But some of the things that have been happening now because she stayed committed, just landed a multiple 6-figure deal, been doing some things where she's partnering and being able to expand her influence across channels. Again, sometimes on the surface, you don't even know the strategies underneath people's success. And we're going to be talking about those upcoming in these trainings. But here, next is video. Once you've answered those questions for your channel, answer these questions for every video you post. What is the goal of this video? Like, what's the purpose of this video? To get views. All right. Well, that's yes, of course. But what's the goal of the video? Like, is the goal of the video to actually like go more viral and bring in new audience? Or is the goal of the video to actually create depth with your current audience? It's not all about vanity metrics and growth. Sometimes it's about depth. And, you know, like this training that we're also sharing on our channel, Think Media, like it's not like usually effective to make like 90-minute, 60-minute trainings. But the goal of this video is to give you real actionable stuff you can use. It's not just like, I'm going to jump cut. I'm going to be really fast. I'm going to give you a couple tactics. I want you to have some serious art of war strategies. So the goal of this video is depth, real notes, real stuff that you can use to get results, right? So what's the goal of this video? Get subscribers, create depth, maybe attract a brand, add to your portfolio so you could send it to a brand to get a brand deal or something. Who is this video for? That's even like a niche within the niche. Like, who am I talking to when I shoot this video? Who's this video for? And that's going to help you shape the content. By the way, if the video is for everybody, how many of you know in an absolutely charged, awkwardly charged political climate that if you make a political video for everybody, you'll probably reach nobody and just piss off everybody. And those who know how to communicate in politics know who they're talking to, right? They know who they're communicating with. John Maxwell, I believe one of the greatest leadership teachers of our day, easily the best leadership author, says that when it comes to communication, and creating communication includes videos, the number one most important communication tip in communication isn't how can I be entertaining at the beginning? It isn't, can I speak clear and can I speak fast or slow? It isn't, how can I impress people with my knowledge? The number one most important place to start when it comes to communicating is knowing who you're talking to. And I've seen people's success on YouTube shift rapidly when they start really getting clear on who they're talking to. And then what problem does this video solve? Does this video for the viewer, for my library of content, for my portfolio? Is it clear the video the problem solves? A lot of people, and for those that are in our private Facebook group right now watching the YouTube Influence Challenge, I've been looking at your channels, and sometimes I'll read the title of your video, do this test, litmus test on your title. Is it clear what I'm going to learn, discover, understand by watching your video? And I'm all for like the strategy of like people make videos like you wouldn't believe what happened, ... But a lot of times that kind of title is for established YouTubers with established audiences, with established subscribers that are already known. And don't start doing the strategies of people that are established when you're just starting. Huge mistake. So if I'm reading your title and I have no idea who the video is for, what the goal of the video is, and what problem it solves, that's maybe why you're not getting views. Just a thought, just an observation. And then money. In reverse engineer, the first R of the 7 R's, we are at least defining, how's my channel going to make money? And the promise of these next total 12 sessions is to build a high impact and a high profit YouTube channel. And so to come up with high profit, you do need to define, how will my channel make money? Now, we're not going to go in depth in that right now. And I'm actually early on saying, you might be like, well, money's not even my focus. Great. Or I kind of been doing this for a hobby. Awesome. Or you could also be too preoccupied with money at the start. But here's my belief. You need money for the mission. It's not even my belief. It's a fact. Like, if you can't keep the internet on, the lights on, funding your content, then like you're not going to be able to continue to create content. You need money for the mission. Here's a way to put it. What is the business model of your YouTube channel? Like, if you started to treat your YouTube channel like a business and not a hobby, everything would change. And what's a business think? How are we going to get customers? How are we going to make income? How are we going to pay the bills? How are we going to scale and grow? How are we eventually going to maybe build a team or get support or outsource some things? Everything changes when you start to think different and think at a different level of strategy. So how will my channel make money? Like, what are the possibilities? And we'll be covering that over the next sessions. And then how will this video make money? Because the specific video, by the way, so for sometimes we talk about like affiliate marketing. Some videos will make money with affiliate marketing linking to a product. Some won't. Some videos have the chance to make money with YouTube ads by getting lots of views. Some won't. Some might lead to something that is like a product or a service that you offer that changes people's lives. And you don't need 1 million views because you're not relying on AdSense. You've got a different way of monetizing that video. Maybe it's Patreon. Maybe it's brand deals. Maybe it's collaborating, JV partnerships. There's all kinds of different things you could do. What is the purpose of this one video? Again, if you're trying to reach everybody, you end up reaching nobody. And if you try to accomplish every purpose with every video, then you're going to probably muddy the waters, and that video is not going to really connect and achieve the end result. And then what are some of the best ways to make money in my niche? Ask that question for yourself specifically, because if you are an entertainer, the way you're going to build a business around a lifestyle, do this full time, is going to be different than maybe if you're an educator. You know, maybe again, you are already in direct selling. You already have a pre-existing built business. You already have a product and service. You want to move that online. So your question, and write that down. What are the best ways to make money in my niche? Not the best ways to make money, period. We don't have enough detail. We need to know what is unique about how you're positioned on YouTube. What are the best ways to make money in your niche? That's where the power is. And I want to give you an example of how to do this in from my personal channel, Sean Cannell. So on this channel, I do product reviews, you know, life hack stuff, video blog stuff. And I don't focus on this channel a ton, but over the years, I have done a lot of different experiments, right? Before I ever, you know, was training and coaching, I want to be like, does my stuff work? You know, I always wanted to be a player coach. And so in this particular video, or example I want to show you is just one example of how you could make money on YouTube that goes a lot deeper than what most know. So 4 years ago, I created a video called Best Greens Powder Organifi Green Juice Review. On brand for my channel, because I'm all into like biohacking and high performance and health and all that kind of stuff. Put this video out. Mind you, it's 4 years old, right? Okay. So this video, if we go to YouTube, you can see that it says Best Greens Powder. I type that search in. And if we scroll down a little bit, 4 years later, this video still ranks #1 on the first page of YouTube. I want you to imagine for a second seeing one of your videos ranking on the first page of YouTube and getting views for weeks, months, and years to come. Like, you make the video one time, but yet that video continues to produce results, viewership, subscribers for you. This video is 4 years old, right? Like, and this is what we do continuously over and over, and what we're going to be showing you how to do in this system, right? But this video is still getting views. In fact, vidIQ is telling me it's getting 1.1 views an hour. Like 24 people are going to watch this video today. That's insane. The video is 4 years old. So I knew who the video was for. People that were looking for the best greens powder. I knew how the video was going to make money. Actually, an affiliate link to this product that my friend Lewis House told me about. Bought the product for myself. I was like, this stuff is bomb. And I like to travel. You can't always get access to green juice on the road. So this is what's called an affiliate link. And we'll talk more about that later. So when people watch this video, a couple things happen. Well, number one, the video has led to a couple thousand subscribers. Number two, it's generated about $1,400 in YouTube AdSense. But because of the affiliate link to that product, it's generated over $10,000. And the video generates around $300 every single month for the last 4 years. One video. And what's so powerful is certain affiliate programs pay like 4% or 10%. And again, we'll talk more about that in depth later. This one pays like 30%. And it's also reoccurring. So just like me, I like to subscribe to stuff. So it gets shipped to me like every month, like just, just keep it coming. Keep the razor blades coming. You know what I mean? Like keep the green juice coming. And so anybody that signs up on continuity, I get that commission for as long as the person signed up. Make sense? It'd almost be like if you got a percentage of someone's Netflix subscription and every single month that they were billed for the Netflix subscription, you got it's the same idea. You see how powerful that is? And this is just one way and one example. And we're going to have so many different examples of how to do strategies like this to make money. And that is, again, by having a powerful strategy and starting with the end in mind, this is the kind of results that you can see. Now, we talk more about that in our starter kit, right? We have our 51 money-making video ideas. And so if you want to learn more about that, it's at tubestarterkit.com. And that's just one example of like affiliate programs, different affiliate programs, 51 different money-making video ideas, right? So there's a lot of different options out there, but that's just one of them. And we'll be covering more over the next few sessions. All right, we're going to land the plane on this last tip. Stand up, take a deep breath, stand up, sit up. You can stand up, shake it out. We're going deep here. Sun Tzu said this: every battle is won before it's even fought. The first R, reverse engineer. Reverse engineer. Start with the end in mind. Don't worry about the tactics first. What's the bigger strategy? And could it be, my friends, that every battle is won before it's even fought? That's the power of actually sitting down and doing the hard work like you're doing right now to think things through and think about your YouTube channel. Because could it be that your YouTube channel, and to start on YouTube and grow on YouTube this year, even as a beginner, that a successful YouTube channel becomes successful before you even start it? That's what this quote is saying. 2,500 years ago wisdom that actually really making income on YouTube or making a difference on YouTube, that you win the battle before you even post a video? You see the power of that? This is the power of really understanding how to reverse engineer, which brings us to our fourth tip, and it's start with why. One of the biggest questions we get: how do I stand out with all the different competition out there? How do I build an audience? How do I stand out? It seems like there's so much competition right now. And I want to show you the power of the difference of being able to stand out. And this is what it is. A lot of people are only focusing on the what, All right. And this is from a powerful book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. But businesses, YouTube channels, influencers, creators, musicians, again, when it comes to the what, if that's the level you're going to fight on, that's probably why you're discouraged. Because you go, what's the what? The what is, I'm a tech channel. I talk about, cameras and microphones. Well, shoot, Sean already does that. He's doing the same thing as me. He's ahead. He got a head start. Oh, I'm kind of an entertainer. Somebody's already, Liza Koshy is already doing it. Oh, I'm a gamer. Someone's already doing it. And Jacksepticeye, he's already established. Like what you do, and what you do matters. So again, if you haven't posted yet, let me know if you know your what, like what niche are you in, for example. And like Heather Torres, who's going to be one of our trainers and YouTube coaches during the next 11 sessions, she's got a homeschool channel. Smaller niche, competition still. What she does, homeschool channel, same as everybody. Same as the other homeschool channels. Like what? If you're trying to win on what, you're going to lose. So notice how we go deeper here. Now, how you do it. if you start to position your YouTube channel, this is how you stand out in a crowded marketplace. How you do it, that's a level of difference. So how you do your homeschool channel. Oh, I like this person's videos. They're kind of creative. They're a little more laid back. Oh, I like this person's videos. They're really kind of, they remind me of myself. They seem like they have a similar background. Or how they do it. I like that their videos are really short and I'm able to listen to it in 5 minutes every time. Oh, I like the fact that they go a little bit deeper and they have more stories. Or I like the way that they do their editing. Or I like the way that they deliver the information. Or I like the way that they do their, their graphics. Like the distinctions of how. Do you know how much creativity you have when it comes to YouTube? You've got so much opportunity of not just the niche you're in, but the how you do it. At Think Media, our how has a certain rhythm and a cadence to it. There's a lot of other people doing what we do, but not how we do it. How you do it. Some people don't have taste in music. Come on. Some people really are obsessed with music and they've got maybe like a background in DJing and what I see. Me, I grew up and I'm obsessed with music. And I know that music is subjective, whether it's good or not. But, growing up on the West Coast, growing up skateboarding and snowboarding, I grew up with like underground rap, like hieroglyphics, come on, living legends, when Wu-Tang raised you. And like growing up on the West Coast, snowboard culture, growing up in Seattle. So like Nirvana, come on, grunge rock, Pearl Jam. And like, let me know, what's one of your favorite artists? Like do you like that new Katy Perry song? That song's pretty fire. No, man, I'm thankful. Scratch that. Yes, I'm grateful. Okay, you don't need me to sing. I'm going to stay in my lane and just talk about YouTube. What's your favorite music style? What's one of your favorite artists? Again, the music on your videos sets a whole different how. Your way of creating content, laid back, kind of, I listen to this one neurotropic channel. They got these kind of like, oh, I feel like the piano, my mind is expanding as I'm learning about my brain. Like all these little nuances of flavor that can make your channel more powerful. Music choice, editing choice, style, cadence, length, the details. But that's not the deepest level. The deepest level is why you're doing YouTube. Why you're doing YouTube. This is where the power really begins to compound, because again, what you do is a tech channel, a homeschool channel. How you do it, you got a little bit of unique flavor in there, but why you do it is why people are going to follow you. See, people follow people with shared beliefs and people follow people with similar values. So one of the powerful things, this becomes clear to me when I think about like personal finance. So, I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? If you've heard of Robert Kiyosaki, love the book. Also read a book called Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, right? Guess what? They're what? Exact same. Personal finance. Their how, different. Their process of getting there is different. And their why is also different. And they couldn't be more different. Robert Kiyosaki's like, look, bro, leverage debt like crazy, man. Like I went to a seminar once. A guy literally pulled out a stack of credit cards with a rubber band. It was like, this is how we're going to buy these like double wides and flip them. And my wife and I were like, dude, this guy, this guy's sketch, man. Where are we? How do we, you know what I mean? You ever been in a room like that? And then on the flip side, you've got Dave Ramsey, who's like, cut your credit cards up, follow the baby steps. And we know that Dave Ramsey comes from a faith perspective, strong in his Christian faith, and one of the most influential legacy builders in terms of a brand. His YouTube channel is crushing. His why is understood. Where he's coming from, his how is different, and he's building a powerful brand. Respect. Robert Kiyosaki, the same. Different value, a little more hardcore. Been a Marine, tells it how it is. His why, his motivation, I don't know as much, but also a little bit more towards like, let's just get rich, attracts a certain type of people. What's your why? And are you sharing your values? Are you sharing your beliefs? This is the chance. You're like, how's my YouTube channel different? It's different because you're different. How's my YouTube channel different? It's different because you're coming from a different perspective and you're coming from a different motivation. I think the most powerful way to illustrate this is, for me, when I committed to going all in, tip number 2, when I committed to going all in on YouTube, it was during the hardest season of my life. And this is when my why really got set on fire. You see, in 2009, my wife, Sonia, almost died. And after going to the Philippines years before, she got a chronic illness. Doctors didn't know what it was. And she got super sick, started to throw up 10, 15 times a day. started to drop all this weight. And we didn't know what was happening. Doctor after doctor, they're saying she has they're like, why don't you just eat a burger and stop like being bulimic, stop being anorexic? And she wasn't. She just couldn't figure out what was going on. She's dropping all this weight. And eventually she gets to such a low weight, as you can see in these absolutely insane pictures, that she needs to get a feeding tube. And first they put it through her nose to try to get it stabilized, but then they put it jejunum, they put it in her side. And when they put it in her side, the surgery was done wrong and they placed it wrong. And we went home and started to like distribute, you know, the food liquid through the tube, and it wasn't going into her stomach. It started to go into her body cavity, which will suffocate your organs and it'll kill you quick. So she starts to like panic and freak out, right? And she's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm in all this pain, and Sean, what's going on? So I grab her, we like throw her in our Honda Civic and race from Marysville, Washington to Everett, Washington to the ER. They bring out like a stretcher and they pull her inside and they get her stabilized. And then they move her into an ambulance, and like sirens blazing, we go down to Seattle, Washington to Virginia Mason Hospital, and they get her stabilized, and they have to do this massive scar and this massive incision in her stomach that so that they can clean all the food and all the stuff out that was inside of her body cavity. And I was by my wife's side for 6 days in the hospital room. As you know, I started on YouTube a couple years before. I was starting to, you know, I've been doing videos since 2003. And I would admit, like in life in general, I wanted to fight for my family and I wanted to kind of provide. But if I'm honest with myself, I was dabbling. I wasn't dominating. And this was a wake-up call. And sometimes that's what it takes for us. It was my wake-up call. And I was like, man, am I really stepping up as a man? Am I really stepping up as a leader? Am I really stepping up as a provider? And am I really fighting for my wife, for our future? And in that exact moment was also the housing crisis. So we had a rental property, and that was like being foreclosed on. And then the church I was volunteering at was falling apart too, because some of the senior leadership stole some money, and that whole thing was falling apart. So 6 days in the hospital room with my wife there, not sure what our future is going to hold, was this massive wake-up call moment for me. And it was a time when I was able to really give a clear, hard look at my why, and it lit a whole different fire in my heart. To be honest, I had a choice at that moment where I could have actually started to get really bitter about like, God, like, look at all this stuff that's happening in our life right now. Or I had a choice to get better and say, I'm going to fight for my family. I'm going to fight for my faith. And I want to ask you, like, what's your why, right? Like, why do you want to succeed on YouTube? Because I found that to sustain motivation on YouTube, if you've got a really strong why, that's the key to staying committed, answering the questions, applying the strategies, and lasting over the long haul. Here's my other challenge to you. Is your goal to just be successful on YouTube? Like a year from now, experience a year of success, burn out, and then just shut the whole thing down and still be, you know, like it's probably not your goal. Like, or is your goal to actually have lifetime success, legacy, to build a powerful brand, to build a powerful business? Like your why affects all of that. Starting with the end in mind affects all of that. And now looking back, and I'm empathetic to what we're going through right now in our world, in our nation. We're living through another recession. Right? We're living through another time where health is really scary right now. And I've had friends pass away because of COVID-19. I've seen friends displaced in their businesses and their jobs. And we're living in an absolute crazy time. But it's so, I believe that even you watching this video or you being a part of this challenge, that we're living at like a fork in the road, that this could kind of be your why moment. It could be a moment that lights a fire. And I'm here to tell you, hopefully, as just listen, if this is the only video you watch and you never watch another thing from me, I hope that in this exact moment, you're able to just capture some vision, capture some inspiration, capture some perspective to say, wow, man, I can get through this recession. I could build something. And it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to count the costs and commit to the journey. But I want you to tell me in the comments, why do you want to succeed on YouTube? A lot of people want to succeed on social media for the fame, for the fortune, for the followers. And ultimately that's fine. But in my opinion, I actually think it's kind of shallow. And I don't think it's what really lasts and what really builds true legacy. And for me, my fire got sparked and lit because I started to fight for my family, my faith. I was like, how are we going to pay these medical bills? I was like, how can we work from home? Not because I wanted a laptop lifestyle, which I'm all into that. not because I wanted to like travel the world and like flex on social media, like whatever. I was like, how do I work from home? Because I don't know how I'm going to be able to take care of my family. That was my motivation. And I'm not here to judge your motivation. I'm here to hopefully give you a moment to think about your life, to think about your reasons. I've learned that reasons come first, results come second. What are your reasons? Write them down for wanting to be successful on YouTube. What are your reasons for wanting to put in the work? What are your reasons? What are you fighting for? In the absence of a great dream, pettiness prevails. We've heard the ancient saying, without vision, people perish. Like, what's your vision? What's your vision for your YouTube channel, for your future, right? And I'm excited to tell you that, again, 10 years later, it's been a crazy 10 years, y'all. When I think back to like my wife almost dying, we recently, now I mentioned we got a baby on the way, and we've been able to share our story. And I really actually believe that our scars, right, are not a source of shame, but they're a sign of strength. And this is a picture of my wife, Sonia, right? And back when she was sick like that, remember, they cut her open and had to clean all that out. But now, by God's grace and by a miracle, we've got a baby on the way. We didn't think we'd be able to have kids with the chronic illness and with everything that was happening. But my friends, I'm sure that you probably have some scars in your life, whether physically, maybe emotionally, but our scars, listen, are not a source of shame, but they're a sign of strength. And it's crazy to look back to think, man, a spark lit and I didn't quit. And now 10 years later, we're here. And again, I don't want to overhype it or underhype it. I just want to say that get a clear vision, count the cost, but see the possibilities. And I think about the family and legacy and where our life's at after a lot of hard work, after a lot of commitment, and after really applying these 4 tips that I have been sharing with you. So let's summarize, reverse engineer. Think things through and then follow through. 6 words that'll change your life. Think things through. Sean, can you just show me some YouTube tips and some title strategies? Well, yes, we're actually going to get to those. But let's not get into tactics right now. Let's really get into those questions that I gave you. Really think about your strategy. Really do some time, like study. Look what's happening. Look at some other YouTube channels. Look at what's happening in culture. Really think things through, but then follow through. Then you got to take massive action. So here's 4 tips for starting YouTube right. You got to start before you're ready. You got to commit to the journey. You got to start with the end in mind, and you got to start with why. Start before you're ready. Punch fear in the face. Come on. I know it's like armpit sweaty, knees weak, mom's spaghetti. You got to start before you're ready, commit to the journey, and then start with the end in mind with the clarity on those questions. And then what's your why? Write down not just what you do. It's really important that you know what you do, like what niche are you in? How are you going to be different? Like, how do you do what you do? Beyonce does it different than Rihanna. Like, people, what is your how? Drake does it different than Eminem. Come on. Like, what is your difference? How do you do what you do? How do you want to do what you do? And then why do you do it? I really believe most important, because people connect with shared beliefs and values, and you want to weave that into your content. My friends, commitment is the foundation of great accomplishments. And so it's time to commit. Type in the chat or the comments. If you're ready to go all in, type in all in, and let me know one aha moment you got out of this session today. We're going to do the daily challenge in just a second, but here's what's coming up in the next session. We're going to do some YouTube myth busting. We're going to do how to nail your niche. We're going to do the best ways to make money. We're going to do how to find your thing. We have another tech giveaway coming up, and we have Q&A coming up as well. And I want to remind you, if you haven't actually joined the YouTube Influence Challenge, the next 11 sessions are happening in our private Facebook group. So we just streamed this first session on Think Media. And thank you, Think Media, for just being a part of the fam. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Let me know how long you've been a part of the journey. And thanks for being here live or on the replay for this kind of just special session of the first training in our free 7-day YouTube Influence Challenge. If you want to be a part of the whole thing, the rest of them are going to be streamed in our private Facebook group, and all of the details are at tubeinfluence.com. And again, the reason why is you've heard probably about our coaching program where we talk about these 7 tips. And, it's a $2,000 coaching program that we offer, but we're teaching through all 7 of these during this free challenge. And so that's why we got a private group where we could do all the giveaways. We're giving away a YouTube studio where we could have quick tips, Q&A, and all that other stuff. So again, if you want any details and you want to be a part of that, it's at tubeinfluence.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you definitely probably want to see another video. If you're still here, just click or tap the screen. And there's a great video about how to come up with the right video ideas and really strong titles for your video. Hit like if you got value today, and we will see you in the next video. Appreciate you. Peace.